This is your Irontrader. It is Thursday morning. Now, remember, for natural gas, the EIA report will be out today at 10:30. Okay, we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas, and then we're going to look here at OneStream, OS. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy or selling stock about ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, here we have Bitcoin daily and your weekly chart. Now, we can see here on a weekly chart here, we're sitting right at that 50-day at that 103,370 level. Now, we came and we retested this here, this 99.90 level, and we held it with a little bit higher high at 99,250. Okay, so we got to maintain that 50-day because, like what we did in the past here, even though it came below, as long as we can hold it on a closing basis by tomorrow, that would be good. Okay, because bottom line, we have bottom left, upper right. Now, we start losing that situation, and then we come down to that 99.90 level. Well, then we can just bring this price channel over here. Then we come right down. Your next level is going to be that 93 level, and then we'll come down here to that 89 level, and then we come down here to the bottom at that 83 level. And we come down here all the way down to that 82, and maybe even down to the retest there at that 74 level. Okay, so really needs to hold that 50 SMA. Now, easy way to trade this: IBIT for the long, BITI for the short. And if you want to do a little bit of leverage on a long here, BITX situation. Okay, now here on the daily, you can see here how this 21-day crossed over the 100-day and the 50-day. Now the 50-day crossed over the 100-day and the 8-day. So everything is here is on the downsliding situation. Okay, now again, we got to see how this is going to shake out here, because realistically, you can see how yesterday it went right up here to this 200 SMA. Okay, so it rallied up, got a little bit higher, but closed below, and so far it's providing very, very strong resistance. So on the upside, this is what you're watching, that 104,276 level. Get above that, then we come to yesterday's high. You're looking at 105.30 level. We'll come to the bottom of that candle. You're looking at 105.755. And then we come up to the top of this candle, our bottom of that candle at 106,210. Then we'll be looking for this 8-day at 107,180 level. Okay, now again, if we can get above that, then we come up there 107,775, and then we'll be looking right here for that 21-day. We'll be looking for that 50-day, and we'll be looking for that 100 SMA here. But right now, the price is below all the simple moving averages, and that's really never really what you call good kind of a situation. Okay, so on the downside, what you're watching is today's low. Okay, you're watching that 103.45 level. Okay, that's going to be very, very key. Now, what we're really looking at here is we just go right to the left of the chart. Okay, so this is your target, 101,390, and then we'll come right to the bottom there at 108.15 level. And then we have your retest there at that 99,250. Okay, so if we start losing that, this is the one that we got to hold, is that 99.90, which is just a little bit right below that. If not, we can start fading all the way into here. So we have that 96 level. Okay, and then we can just bring this right across here. You have that 93 level. We have roughly 92 level. And then we come to the top of that candle. We can come all the way down to here to about that 95, 96 level if it keeps right on rolling down. Okay, so again, this is got to be very, very, this is like right now, this is for me, this is a two-way trade. Okay, so I'm trading the BITX on the long and the BITI there on the short. On the short side. Okay, so right now here we're only sitting at 39. That's not overbought or oversold. The green is below your red situation. So right now this 200-day is everything. You have to get above it, but you're going to provide very, very strong resistance once you hit that 8-day. Okay, that's going to be very, very strong. Just like I always said in the past, when the price is above it, then that's good. When the price is below it, then it's just like here, you're fighting it the whole way until we can get back above the situation. Okay, but again, once we get through that 8-day, that's got to get that to curl up. But you got that strong resistance there at that 21 simple moving average here. Okay, now here on this weekly chart here, you can see how the 8-day crossed now over. That's 111,883 over that 21-day at 113.93 level. Okay, so that's going to be another very, very strong on a weekly basis, because what happens is when that crosses over, this is what happens, and that's what you get all the way on down. So the key is holding this 50-day by Friday. If not, we're going to retest that 99, and then we can retest all these levels here until we come all the way down to the 82 and maybe even that 74 level. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. All right, here we have gold and silver. And I use these as more like a fear factor. And I can see here the sideways consolidation. We had this bear flag situation, big pull down, bear flag came right on down. And then we're fighting that 8 simple moving average. See how it went into it? Now today we're above it, but that doesn't mean you're going to hold above it. That's going to be the key, is we have to hold that 8. Now again, the 8-day crossed that 21-day. So now that's going to be key support is 39.91. That's what we're going to be looking for. If not, we'll come right to the bottom there at 39.71 level. Come to yesterday's low, 39.95. And then we have this big retest down here, 39.01, and then we're looking for that 50-day at 38.95. That is your downside, all right? So upside so far today, we made 4,026 level. On the upside, 4,043, and then we have this level here, 4,059, and then we'll be looking at that 4,094 level. Now, I don't have no trade going on here right now. What I'm waiting for is just to see if we can close back above that 21-day. Then I would take that. Then I would take a shot at on the GLD, and I would take it to the next level, which is 41.59, 41.71 level going on right there. Then we can rally all the way up to the 42.35. 43.46, and maybe even at 43.98 level. But right now, we're just going to have like a little bit of ping pong action between the 8-day and the 21-day. Very, very strong resistance here at that 21-day. But right now, we just have like a sideways consolidation, but we need to hold that 8-day on a closing basis. Now, you can see here, this was nosebleed area, came right on down. Now we're sitting at 51. The green is below your red, but look at the little bars, how they're curling on up here. So again, we'd have this consolidation. The key is holding that 8-day on a closing basis. If we lose that, we could retest that 50-day very easily. And on the upside, we're looking for that 21-day that has to close above. Then we can hit the rest of these targets. Okay, silver, see, exactly, here's a perfect example of what we're really looking for here now, okay? So you can see how strong that 21-day is, okay? It just has very, very strong, so you have to respect that 21-day. Now, on the downside, watch that 47.81. There's your 8-day. That's going to be very, very key. Then we'll come right to the bottom there at 47.09. And then we have 46.65, yesterday's low, 46.52. And then we're going to come right down to that 46.04 level. And then we have that big retest down here at 45.51. Okay. But now we just have this sideways consolidation. The key is going to be this upside, is going to be this 21-day. Okay, but just respect that, because how many times that it just could not get and close back above it in the past here. Okay, so watch that 48.90. That's going to be key. We get above it, then we'll come up top of that candle at that 49.22 level, and then we'll come to the bottom there, 49.66. Okay, we have 50.08, and then we venture on up here, 51.61, and then we have 51.83. 52.49, and then we go all the way up to that 53.76 level, okay? But again, the 21-day is going to be everything. We can get a close above it, then I will jump in the SLV, and then we take it higher, maybe retest that 53.76. Right now, watch that 8-day. That's going to be very, very critical. We lose it, we could retest that 50 SMA. Now we're sitting here at 53. That's not overbought or oversold. The green below your red. Now we're going to have like a sideways action. The little bars are curling on up. So actually, this is looking here pretty good. Got a good consolidation. The key is going to be closing above that 21-day in order to take it higher. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil. All right, here we have crude oil. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we have this inverse head and shoulders pattern, left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. But right now, if it would have ended here, then you could have went right on up. But now this is just extending here, and we're putting in lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so this pattern might not play out. If it did, this would be your target up here at that 66.42. Okay, so right now what we're watching here on the downside is we're watching that 21-day. That's going to be very key. That's that 59.65 level. Okay, so if we lose that, we come off the top of this candle at 59.11, and then we come to the top of that candle right there is 58.08. That's your next support level, and then right here is your 57.34, 56.35, and then your retest down there at 55.96. But we can see here how we're just kind of like trending right on down, kind of a situation here. Upside right here, we got to get above that 60.35. If we do, come to the top of that candle there at 61.09, and then we're looking for that 61.66. That's your 50-day. 62.87 is your retest, and then we have your 100 SMA here sitting at 65. What do we got there? 65.88, and then we have that 65.04 level is your 200-day, and then there's your retest up there at that 66.42. Now let's see what that 100-day actually is here. What is that? 63.88. Sorry about that. Okay. So bottom line here, we are downtrending situation going on here. Okay, so this time of the year for about the next 5 weeks, it's really not a what you call good for crude oil. Okay, summer driving's done, but now we're going into the holiday season. So and the price is really here is sitting at 60. I know like that the gasoline stations, which is really good. Sam's is like at $2.70 a gallon, which is really really good. That's how most people like it down in the cheaper area. Now, when we have this RSI, you're only sitting at 46. That could go either way. The green is over sideways. So this could go either way. So realistically today, what you want to watch is that 60.35. If you get above that, then we're looking for that 61.66 to 50-day. But respect it because look at here, okay? Yeah, did it pop through? But you couldn't close above it for the last 3 times, the last 3 tries, okay? So watch that 61.66 if we can break above that 8-day. If we lose this 21-day, well, then I think you're going to venture down and retest that 55.96 level. Okay, let's take a look here now at natural gas. All right, here we have natural gas. Now you can see here in the chart we have a low, higher low, higher low, higher low situation and series of higher highs. Now this gap was basically just a contract roll. It wasn't really, on any kind of a news or anything like that. So what we did is we got outside this blue line. See this? That's the price channel. And when it gets outside, it wants to pull in. See, look in the past, okay? Wants to pull in, look in the past, and it wants to pull in, okay? So now we have sideways consolidation. So yesterday we had an inside day. Today, so far, we have an inside day, okay? So we're looking for on the upside, you're looking at a 4.32, and then we'll come up there at 4.35, and then we're looking for that 4.39 level. That's going to be the key, okay? Now, if we can get above that, then we come right here at the top of that candle, you're looking at 4.42, and then we look there, looking at 4.47, we have 4.55, and then we have 4.58, and then we have the big retest here at 4.90, okay? That's going to be your upside targets. Now, downside, we want to watch, obviously, yesterday's low. Okay, that's what we're trading against, 4.20. We want to watch the bottom of that candle there, 4.18. And then we just keep venturing around down here, 4.08. And then we're going to be looking right here for this 4.03. Now, again, a lot of times is when it runs on up here, you have a little consolidation and give it a chance for that 8-day to catch up, the 21-day, the 50-day to catch up. Now, you can see how this nice and crossed over. 50-day crossed over, looking very, very good. So if it comes all the way down, chances are it'll hold this key 8 SMA here. Now, again, if we start losing that, well, then we look to the top of this candle right there, looking at that 386 level, and then we look to the bottom at 375, and then we come over here to the top of that candle there at 3.58 level here, and then we have your 21-day at 3.53, then we have just gap fill, okay? That's at 3.43, so you'll have a gap in a fill, but we have that 8-day and 21-day and the 200-day all in between all of that. But again, usually the 8-day, as it rises up here, just like this, as it rises up, as long as it stays above it, okay, it can provide very, very good support. When it gets below it, like here, then you just fight it the whole way until you can get that reversed. It's kind of a situation. So we'll see what the EIA report says at 10:30. A lot of times it's a good market mover. So what I'm just doing in this time period is just scalping the UNG. Okay, that's all I really want to do is just trade that UNG in this time period, going into about the first week of December, end of December, something like that. Just trade on the long side here. The short side here, we get ourselves a bad winner. This could rip up very, very, very nice. It'd be hard to say that you can stay right here in the $4 range. So again, we've had a nice, good move on up, kind of a situation, but we just have sideways consolidation as of right now. All right, let's take a look here now at OneStream OS. Okay, here we have OneStream. Now you can look at the earnings, okay? We look up, pop up here, pop right up here, one sideways action. Earnings right here, this one fell right off, consolidation. Now it looks like we're reversing. See how we had this consolidation, okay? But what I want to point out to you here, we had that 6.15 level, okay? But all you got to do is look to the left of the chart here. See what you have right there? Okay, 16.69, okay? See that double bottom situation? So it doesn't matter how far you go back. Okay, this is where we have a nice double bottom situation, and now you're working yourself up. Okay, now look at this 8-day, how it now crossed over 21-day, crossed over that 50 SMA here, and we had a really nice good pop. But where did it go? Right there into that 21-day. Okay, so now here on the upside, okay, you can see how the one came down and then it pulled that back down. Now again, this isn't in play yet because it doesn't. This chart doesn't open up till 9:30. But I just want to give you the overall picture of it. Okay, so bottom line here, what you always want to do is just bring this price channel right across. That is going to be your resistance level at that 2052. we bring this price channel right across here. You got that 21.14 level. Then we have that 21.55 level. Then we can come up to the top of that candle at that 21.60 level. Okay. Now, again, if we can crack above all that, we can come to the bottom of this candle right there. You're looking at 22.64. But realistically, what you're looking for is that 23.14. But you can see here how you trade the charts, how it just went right here. It broke that price channel at that 1988, and then it just skyrocketed. Where did it go? Right into that 100-day. Look at that. See? She's a beaut, Clark. I mean, right there. This is why you trade the charts, okay? Now, on the downside, what we're doing is we're watching the top of that candle. That's that 1988. Now, if we lose that area there, then we're going to come right down here to where that 8-day is, that 1892, and we have that 1888 level, and then you can come down to that 1814 level, okay? But right now, this actually is looking here very good. So if you look at this chart, see we have a left shoulder here and a head and a right shoulder, okay? So if that reverses, okay, that swung right on up here. So if you take here from that 1651 right here to this neckline, okay, right to this neckline situation, okay, that goes right up here to that 100-day, and that's exactly where she went. Now, you look here at the RSI, well, you're only at a 61. That has room to run. The green is over your red. The key to this whole situation is, first of all, you have to hold that 1988, okay? That's the first thing, and you have to get back above this 100-day. If you do, you got a good shot at that 200 simple moving average at 23.14. Now, again, if you get above that, you got some really nice big targets. All I got to do is bring this price channel across here, okay? So you got 26 level. We bring this price channel right across here. You got 25.70 level. We come all the way up there. You got 26.91, and then we can retest all the way up here at 28, and then we can get all the way back out here to that 29 level, okay? But again, you have to get and close above the 100-day, close above the 200-day, then you have a nice good run all the way on up. But right now, we just have this sideways consolidation, but we have like a big pop and a drop. So you have to watch and see how this shakes out. The key is just watch that level right there, 1988. You want to hold that. If not, we got to look at all the support level at that 1890 level and all the way down here to that 1814. All right, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here midday trading. We'll take a look here at some stocks. Right now, the old Nasdaq futures up about 24. So let's just see how it shakes out. We got a wild day on Monday, big sell-off. Yesterday had a nice, good turnaround. Great day on Monday, yeah. And then yesterday, a big sell-off there on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, had a nice, good rally on back. So I don't know what's going to happen here today. So, just take out some stocks here that you really like. Some that had the really good earnings, like Palantir had really good earnings. That's a good trading stock. Tesla's a really good trading stock. Same way with Meta and Amazon and Microsoft and Nvidia. These are all good, really trading stocks. The one that I always trade here is TQQQ. It's a basket of all of them. So any kind of a pullback, I usually just jump in there and I can trade it real nicely. All right, trade what's in front of you. Now what you want.